Everything that I say in this episode may come off as tough love. I'm saying this not only from a place of experience, but also from a place of I wish somebody would have told me this. Your need to have everything planned out and situated before starting something is the highest form of self-sabotaging. What is going on, y'all? Thank you so much for joining me for yet another episode of Snaps and Golf Claps. I want to get all the formalities out the way early, so do me a favor, if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow the channel. When you follow the channel, if you're listening on audio platforms, make sure you give a like, rate, and review, please. Now, if you're a YouTube listener, even if you're not a YouTube listener, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. The whole reason I'm asking you guys this is just for more visibility. So the more people that show love, the more people this reaches, and start the chain reaction, and we can have more conversations. Y'all, all right. So I want to preface this by saying everything that I say in this episode may come off as tough love. I'm saying this not only from a place of experience, but also from a place of I wish somebody would have told me this. I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this, somebody got to keep it honest with you. But with that being said, if you don't want me coming at your neck early in the morning, I suggest you wait till you're in the space to listen to what I'm about to say. Your need to have everything planned out and situated before starting something is the highest form of self-sabotaging. And let me explain why. The reason why it's the highest form of self-sabotage is because it almost like tricks your brain to be productive about this thing that you want to do or this thing that you want to pursue without actually doing it. So the more you convince yourself like, okay, as long as I'm actively working towards learning more about this thing that I'm going to do, then it's a cop-out. It's giving you the excuse to not do something or not execute something because you're not ready, because you don't have all the information. And I'm here to tell you, you're never going to have all the information. So because of that, because you're telling yourself, oh, I haven't done X, Y, and Z because I don't have all the information, that's just giving you a reason not to do it. That's just giving you an out. You and I both know you don't need everything. You don't need to know everything to start things. Because no matter how well you prepare for your journey, no matter how well you prepare for whatever, like think about a trip, right? You can plan for vacation from top to bottom, side to side, inside out, and something could still be missing and something could still go wrong. So you're just going to tell me you're not going to go on vacation just because something might go wrong? No, something goes wrong and you figure it out on the fly. And that same thing is going to apply to everything you choose to do in life. So this whole idea of like, oh man, I really want to do X, Y, and Z, but I have to get it figured out first. I have to do some more research. I have to make sure I'm comfortable with. No, you don't. You're giving yourself an excuse. You're giving yourself a way out to. It's an excuse. Like, oh, the reason I didn't do it is because I didn't feel comfortable enough to pursue this thing. No, the reason you didn't do it is because you chose not to commit to that thing, and you gave yourself an out. You gave yourself an excuse not to do it because you're scared. Ultimately, it's a fear thing. This fear of uncertainty, needing to have everything in control, needing to have control. Listen, learn to release. Control what you can, release what you can't, and keep it pushing. And that's the model you have to have for life. Give life the opportunity to give you experiences, to show you things, right? Life is our teacher. Life is here to teach us things. Life can't teach us if we're know-it-alls, because we don't allow space for experiences and for growth if we're know-it-alls. And nobody likes a know-it-all, especially not life. And being a know-it-all in life, all that's going to do is just put you in this stale, monotonous cycle of sameness. No new experiences because you don't give them space to even happen and flourish. Because you just have to have so much control over everything. So much so that you don't even allow yourself to see too far into the future because you're scared that if the further in the future you go, the less control you have. But let me tell you this, even if you are controlling everything by the second, you're still not in control. there's still room for things to not go as you plan. So with that being said and that being known, why do you have this deep need to have everything in control and everything so structured? That's something to deep dive into. For me, in my case, because I have dealt with this in the past, and it's something that I feel like recently, within the past couple of years, fully released. Do I still have moments? Absolutely. But I have to check myself. Like, girl, you don't need to have everything figured out. You know this. Just start. And just roll with the punches as they come. You're going to figure it out. And I don't know about you, but I learn best through doing. So I can sit here and read all I can read and watch all these YouTube videos and listen to all these podcasts and everything. And until I try it myself, it won't click. So I have to do it. So years ago, I'm fooling myself to being like, oh, I can't start this project until I have it all figured out. I'm not going to have it all figured out until I start it. And even when I start it, I won't have it all figured out, because projects and experience and all that stuff evolves. It's supposed to. As we start to experience life through the lens of whatever it is that we are pursuing, we learn. Life teaches us things. Life teaches us good things, and life teaches us places where we can grow. Gives us opportunities to grow and opportunities to learn. The thing is, though, when you decide to go that route, you have to be self-aware. And a lot of people don't like to be self-aware because it's hard. Being self-aware means you're seeing everything for what it is, including yourself. And that's scary. That could be another episode alone. But releasing control over life, releasing control over the granular aspects, the necessities, the little tiny minuscule elements of life is freedom. It's freedom to grow. It's freedom to learn. It's freedom to explore new things. It's freedom to see life for what it is. Because if you have your blinders on and everything you see is through the eyes of what's in front of you, directly in front of you, and you have no peripheral vision, figuratively speaking, you have no peripheral vision, then that means you don't get to see other things around you, other things that are happening around you that could enhance that journey, or that could maybe even shift the journey, right? We get so married to this end result, this end goal, that we're scared to even let anything deviate us from that goal or from that journey. And that's not good. Let things happen the way they're meant to happen, okay? You cannot have control over every single element in your life. If you do try to have that control and that need to have all that control, it keeps you stagnant. And then you're going to look up 5-10 years down the line and be like, what happened? What happened is you lived the same stagnant, stale life, and you didn't allow yourself to experience life for what it was. That's what happened. So I say that all to say, let's learn how to release things. If you have something that you've always wanted to try or always wanted to do it. Know enough to get started, and that's it. Everything else will fall into place as you go. You're not going to be perfect at the beginning. You're not. Heck, you might not even be perfect at the end, whatever the end is. That's not the goal. The goal is not perfection. I've said that before in other episodes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is just pursuit of said thing. So whatever it is that you've been saying, oh, I gotta do more research, I gotta learn more, I gotta ask more questions. No, you don't. Get started right now. Okay? Start. Do you have enough to get started? If you require equipment, get the bare minimum of whatever it is that you require. And if you can't do it right now, set a date by when to do it. But whatever it is that you need, and if you don't even need equipment, or if you don't even need tools to get started, then literally why haven't you started? Because you have nothing to lose. Even if you do need tools, you have nothing to lose. Because you're in a position right now where you have nothing. You haven't pursued anything. There's nothing that's potentially getting in the way of, because you haven't done anything yet. So just try it, and be consistent with it too, right? Be consistent with it, because I'm gonna make another episode about being comfortable with being a beginner, but don't quit something before you've given it a chance to get better at it. You might be bad for a very long time, but you might get better every time, and that's what matters. That's what we're looking for, is them little wins. Right? Like, despite what social media tells you, despite what, media in general tells you, there's no such thing as overnight successes. There's no such thing as overnight, prodigies. There's some people that are just really good at what they do, but they still require work to get better. Right? There's some people that are just gifted, but they still require work to get better. And there's some people that are not gifted at all and have to work a little bit harder, but guess what? They can still be the best at something, as long as they are consistently working towards that thing. So I say this all to say, find something that you've been wanting to do for a very long time that you've put aside because you don't have the information, or you don't have enough of whatever. Start it this week. Whenever you listen to this, start it today. And if you need equipment or whatever, order it. Start this week. As soon as you get it, the day you get it, even if it's at 10 p.m., start it. And just let it go from there. And as you do, you'll start having questions. And guess what? You can look it up. Google's our best friend. Go to a library, read a book on it, whatever. But you won't even know what questions to ask. All these questions that you have to ask, hypothetically speaking, you don't even know what those questions are because you haven't even done it yet. So all those questions that you think you need answered, that you think you need to do before you get started, aren't even real questions yet because you haven't done it yet. The real questions that you need to progress are going to come once you actually start doing this thing. So I'm rooting for y'all. And if I can help in any way, please, y'all know where to find me, at Snaps and Golf Claps on all social media. I'm rooting for y'all. Let's get started. Whatever, thing you wanted to pursue, go ahead and start pursuing it. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow the channel. If you like this episode, share with somebody that you think might get something out of it. That one friend that hasn't, started their business or pursued their dream of being whatever, because they don't know enough. Send them this episode, please. If you feel like they could get something from it. Okay. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much again for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great day.